2 cents, This is for the ones that can't breathe. Took a knee to the neck for the police. Got left in a mess in the cold streets. Lord Jesus, this one for Trayvon, yeah. Oh, this one is for my, yeah. This one for Michael Brown, yeah. This one for Stephen Clark, yeah.
Hey, what's up, Gas Wurk?
What's happening with it, man? That's what they call me.
Hey, so I know the GA. The GA stands for God Amazing. But what's the rest of it?
Selfless servant. So look, bro, Gas Wurk, I even got it tatted right here. So like Gas Wurk was like birthed like really like 10, 12 years ago. But like I stopped doing music for like 6 years. And I went to jail for a little bit, had my first daughter. You know what I mean? And it's like, I know people that really got popped on their porch just chilling, smoking a blunt or doing whatever they doing, you know what I mean? And what's crazy is I did the video with my boy G Murky, and he told me like during the video, he was like, bro, like that happened to my cousin. And I, you know, so it's like, it's stuff like that. Like you don't even know how you're interceding into people's lives. You know what I mean? So you just gotta speak it, man. That's how I feel.
One of the things I keep hearing you say is that you don't want to necessarily be defined as a Christian artist.
Right.
But you sound so Christian.
Right.
And for me as a Christian, one of the things that I know has become important is as an artist, because I think sometimes a lot of people stray away from that. I don't want to be defined as a Christian artist, not necessarily because of their views on Christianity, because it's obvious. I hear your views on Christianity. You just said, I like to share Christ. And that's pretty much being a Christian. You know, I think we tend to make it complicated, but a lot of that tends to come because people mix church and Christian, and they think it's the same thing, that you don't want to be churchy, but you don't. How do you, because I see someone like you as someone who is able to take the label Christian artist and redefine it.
Right.
Instead of just saying that I don't want to be a Christian artist, but being able to say, hey, I'm a Christian and I'm an artist, but this is what being a Christian and an artist also looks like. That I may not sound like Kirk Franklin or somebody else, but this, how do you as an artist take something that someone may have a negative thing to and say, hey, I can own this and I'm now going to redefine it instead of being locked in the box. I'm breaking the box open and showing you that maybe you didn't see everything in it.
It's real. Like, how are you going to sit here and talk about, you know, God and being a Christian and then try to downgrade it and be like, you know, but I don't want to be labeled as a Christian. I think what it is that if I want to, you know, I agree with what you're saying, breaking out. I totally agree with that. But there are a certain amount of people that see Christian and then they don't want to listen. You know what I mean? And they don't really know what they're getting. You know what I mean? Which doesn't bother me, but it's like if I put that gospel or I put that Christian on there, if you do not believe in that, you're not gonna listen. You know what I mean? If you're like, I'm trying to talk to atheists, I'm trying to talk to people that have no relationship or don't want a relationship, because, you know, I believe at some point in a lot of people's lives, you know, you're always questioning, like, you know what I mean? Like, what is God? And, you know, like, what does that mean? And, you know, there's so many denominations and like people struggle having an identity, you know what I mean? And I feel like that's huge. That's huge. You know what I mean? In this world, like people don't really know who they are, you know? And I've been hearing like a lot of artists say like, know yourself. Like I hear Drake saying that a lot, know yourself. And it's real. Like a lot of people don't know themselves. They really don't. You know what I mean? And then you get to talking to them and you ask them a few questions and it's like, I don't know. You know what I mean? So I agree with you. I feel like if I was able to get to that platform where I would be able to reinvent myself, like you're saying, then I definitely would do it. Because it is him. It's all him. It's, you know what I mean? No matter how anybody wants to put it. You know, I listen to Eminem and, you know, Lloyd Banks and, you know, all these. I used to be straight metaphors. That's all I did. You know what I mean? I would be coming with straight out the gate. You know, a lot of people think you know, when they hear me, like I'm from the East Coast, you know, but I'm from Southside California, and I've been here my whole life. You know what I mean? But what's crazy is my dad is from Chicago, like my birth dad. And I met him like twice, you know what I mean? But he's from the Wild Hunters in Chicago. And I feel like, you know, you get things from your parents, whether they're there or not.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So unfortunately, you know, he wasn't around, but you know, for whatever reason, it wasn't meant for me to have him. You know what I mean? In my life.
He wasn't around, but yet the flip side of it is we hear you talking about your wife, and when you come home, and she's like, "Take the baby," which to me indicates that you have become a hands-on father. Can you encourage maybe some young men that are listening that didn't have that father? Because I know for some of them, they think like, "I don't know how I'm going to do this. How am I going to be a dad? I didn't have a dad. I didn't have a role model." How did you overcome that? And like, you know, kind of like I said, you had to define fatherhood because you didn't know what it looked like. So how could you encourage some young men and just tell them how you overcame not having a father to now? I can tell just, you know, I read and listened to some of your stuff even about even legacy has become important to you. Being a father, being hands-on, to become the father and the man that you were.
If your dad sucked, you know what I mean? You can always be who God called you to be. You know what I mean? There's been, my dad not being in my life has actually made me the father I am now. You know what I mean? So it's not, I feel like, you know, the biggest things you got to do is make every negative a positive. Even, it doesn't matter what it looked like. It doesn't matter like what you're going through in that moment. If you proclaim victory over whatever it is you're facing, you're gonna get through it. There's nothing you can do, you know, but succeed. So it's that mindset, you know. You see a like they talk about how the mom picked up the truck when her baby, you know, when the car was on her baby. How did she pick up the car? She'd never do that again. It'll never happen. You tell her to do it again, she ain't gonna be able. But it was that, you know, that need, like I gotta save my baby. You know what I mean? So like if you can take that and catapult that forward in everything you do, like put it before you even step in that, I feel like you can overcome anything. So for me, not having a father, I think has made me a better father, and having stepfathers has also, I've learned from all of them, you know, like even so my dad being absent, I learned how to not be absent. With, you know, with my stepdad Tom that passed from heroin overdose, you know what I mean? He was using drugs, but at the same time he was taking care of our whole family. So I learned how to take care of a family from him. And then my brother's dad, who raised us until I was about 10, he taught me discipline, and he taught me how to be a stand-up man. You know what I mean? So really, I got the trifecta. You know what I mean? So like a lot of who I am stems from a lot of people, and like they say, it takes a village and all those different things. Like it's really how you respond to the knowledge that you give.
Yeah, it's all about that balance, man. Everybody balance in their life.
Right. And like even like what y'all doing, like Big Mom Bo said, man, it's a blessing, man. Just to be able to meet y'all, like, you know what I mean? I may see y'all again, I may never, but like just I love people, man.
I love you because you're real,
Oh,
and I think the real you just comes out so much, and so I'm excited. Make sure you know, because you're like, I might not see y'all again. Invite us to your Grammy party.
Right.
We'll be there.
Right.
Just make sure invite us to the Grammy party. You know, don't forget the little people over here on Ride the Beat.
Ride the beat. Hey, but yeah, I go by Gaswork, man. But yeah, I mean, if you making a song called Faith, you know, I mean, my project is called Faith Over Fear, but mine's is like it's faith-based rap, but it's from a street perspective. So like I done did everything everybody else done did, but my life changed, man.
I mean, we can make something happen for real.
Yeah, that'd be a blessing.
My nigga, they call me Gaswork, cause my music gas.